What's up everyone, today I will be playing World War 2. I will be recreating World War 2 again. You guys might recognize this account, this is my old account. I will be using him to make this video. I will be playing as Germany. This guy will be just playing every single country that will be taken over. So yeah, so 1946, first invasion was defeated. Well, it wasn't an invasion if you think about it. It was like mostly just a takeover. But then, we all know how it's Germany. A few years, I would say like a few months later, they almost started declaring war on like Poland. So the Allies, which was France and United Kingdom, they have the Big Buenos capital, and France, yeah, they gave the Sudetenlands, which is somewhere like here, if you think about it. But do you want to know what the Germans did? No, F them both. But now I need to just wait for some time. Now I need to wait some time. And that's because can I change the name? Can I change the time right now? Oh, I can't. I can't. Damn it. Oof. Yeah, and also one thing I do know that in World War II, I think they did use like all of these these are I think different types. Yeah, I think they did actually like use these bunkers or fortifications in Normandy. I'm not joking, I think they did use them. Wait, I can only use them in taking over land but not in my territory. Okay. Yes, so then in 1939, there was something unexpected, I could say. Germany declared war on Poland, on Polski, on the Poland. And I'll just use my art again to take over the other land that they had. I'm just going to use the color, I don't know. I'll just use really red. And also, by the time USSR already won, like, Poland was already taken before even. USSR already had the Baltic states, which were Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. But then the Allies, which is France and United Kingdom, they did not allow Germany, Germany to get from the Northern Sea to their capital Berlin to get like resources and all that. So they just snatched it. They just snatched it. They just took it like it's nothing. Yeah, so they were kind of massive already. And you know what else is massive? The people that subscribe to the channel, yes sir. Those are also people that are massive. But then, just so they could secure their land, they did a full-on invasion, in case you didn't know. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I am explaining entire World War II right now. About 80 million people died in the entire World War II history. So yeah, that's kind of gruesome and sad. Then if you are wondering, see this entire like Belgium, Luxembourg and Netherlands? Let's just say those are the Benelux countries, and they invaded because see this border where France and the Germany are, yeah, this Strasbourg, really close one, yeah. They invaded through it because they built like a trench around it. but I did not make a wall around or trench around this part. It just meant it was easy game. And when they got attacked, they just went crazy. They just flipping went crazy. Like, if you wonder what is crazy, this is crazy. Because then, they just didn't give a hell. You see Paris? You see Paris? You wanna know how fast they ran? Real fast. They just sent that military out in a few seconds. Like, they expanded so much in a blink of an eye. Then the skinny mustache man took his auto farm and photo next to Eiffel Tower. Holy, that is fast, man. That is real fast. And then they just buffed it. France. And also Italy got a little bit out of that because they also won France. So that's a bit important. See, France then became Vichy France. But we are not going to talk about them that much. Because see how what they are doing now? I will also need to explain that part. But for now I'm not able to, but yeah, see how big Germany is right now? They are about to be even bigger because Italy. See this Albanian part that Italy has. They tried to invade Greece, but it didn't go out that good and they lost half of that in that part. So then Germany had to Hungary get into their alliance. That was easy. Romania into their alliance. That was easy again. Wow, Germany, you have so many flipping wings. How are you doing that? Well, it's because of goddamn smart tactics that Napoleon invaded did in 1800s and 1700s, yes sir. And then, of course, we had Italy over here. Then Yugoslavia didn't join, so they just took it. They just took it from all sides, man. They just took it. Like, they didn't give a hell. They didn't give a shit. And hell, they just took it. They just took it like spray meat. And see how big Germany is? They're about to become bigger. Bodies. So yeah, they're about to become bigger. And if I just do this, half of Greece is already taken over. Now if I just take this account, take some green color, for which, wait guys, I will be back. I will need to be back. I will be back in a few minutes, so I will be back in a few minutes. So bye. Okay, I'm back. So then Italy had a half of the entire Greece, of course. Yeah, now see how big the entire Germany is? Well, they're about to become even bigger. They're about to become even bigger. And by even bigger, I mean even bigger and also losing a lot of soldiers. So in I think 1941, they invaded USSR. USSR is Russia. But back in 1940s, 1930s and all that. So yeah, they just invaded the entire country. And when they also did something else. And I forgot about it because I was already doing that. They also took over the entire Finland actually. Even though somehow Russia had a really hard time taking it over. They only got in 10%. And then they little, and then Germany just, yeah. And then, if you're wondering what I did to Kaliningrad, which is I think here, they just or St. Petersburg, yeah, they just laid siege on it. They just surrounded it and laid siege. I didn't take it. And they just continued pushing into their territory, man. And where is Moscow? Okay, I know how far I need to go now. Yeah, so they just kept pushing. They just kept pushing into their territory. This is how big they were almost at that point. They were just taking over land like it's nothing. They were just stealing it from like candy from a baby. And still, they were laying siege on St. Petersburg. They were still doing that. And they just continued fighting in this game. And they just continued fighting. And do you see how close now Germany is to Moscow? Yeah, this is where the entire get back because the king is coming part comes into play. Flippin' Russia fought back. They somehow did that. They were fighting back, pushing them away. Yeah, so this is now how big Germany is. This is how big they are. This is our claimed territory. And they didn't aim for Moscow. They went for the fuel. They, I think, went for the oil. And because of a stupid move, they just went here. When they tried to encircle them. But it failed. It tragically failed. Yeah, they were like taking over land over here. Just taking some land. Getting ready to fight back and all that. This is how big Germany was at its peak. This is actually how big they were. That is massive. They almost had entire Europe. So yeah, they were just going. They were even like aiming for stuff. But out of none surprise, they collapsed. I'm not joking, they literally collapsed. And also tragically in 1940, the red mustache man, grabbed his own gun and flipping murdered himself. He grabbed a pistol or a Mauser and he got pointed to his head and just said, "Nah, I'm out," and he just loaded the bullet in there and just popped it. Then he just shot him in his head. And yeah, if you're wondering how close did I get to in that Berlin, they got real close. I'm not joking, they actually did get really close. Like if you think about it, then that was even the entire invasion of Normandy. If you think that was the entire invasion of Normandy, I will show you guys that part now. So it was over here. I will just take it here. So yeah, the entire invasion happened here. This is the part. But the Germans thought that the entire invasion was here. So they built most of their defense here. So I'm just like place a bunker here. Submit. They like placed many bunkers here. They like placed them many. They like placed They like placed a lot of them over there. They just got ready to do it. See? They just had a lot of bunkers. Fortifications too. They just had a lot. That is not what normally happened. So you see how many defenses they have there? Yeah, this is how much defense they had normally. This is literally how much defense they had normally, I would say. I'm not joking. They had a small little defense at Normandy, which meant that it was kind of easy just to take it over and get France back into everything. So yeah, they just lost. They flipping lost. And yeah, it's actually kind of tragic how they lost. So yeah, if anyone is thinking about becoming Germany's leader, please do not go to war. Please do not be born in Austria and do not become a painter. I did not live when those times happened, but just trust me. Search up on Google. Search up how HIDE. Just search up how Hitler got killed. How he became the German's leader. Just trust me. How Hitler or the skinny mustache man flipping got German leader. And yet they were literally over here, just next to Berlin. Army over here. Allies were somewhere like. Allies were just here, I could say. They just surrounded it. They just flipping surrounded it. So yeah, that is how full on Germany collapsed. You want me to also focus on Japan, on the Pacific Ocean part? I will do it. I will even show how Pearl Harbor was done. So if you want me to do that, then drop a follow or I will just do it by myself. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and bye.